Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of me working on this beloved car of mine. This is going to be a quick one, really. Um, just give some small updates on what I got to do to make this thing perfect or the way that I want. I kind of got some dead time. Had a little bit of money that I could spend. Not the money that I really need to finish getting the parts that I want to finish this baby up. But let's say I had a little bit of money that I could afford to play with, so I decided to tighten up some things that's been eating at me ever since I kind of did the body work on this car. And in future episodes, I'm gonna go over it a little bit more on some other things that's really needs to get done. That's really bugging the heck out of me. But for right now, like I said, I had a small amount of money that I could play with. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten up some things before I get too buck wild. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. One of the first things here is the wing that I'm gonna redo. If you can kind of see, yeah, you guys can see all that's going on in the wing. I actually had to do some repairs on this thing. There's another spot here. But I had to do some repairs. Let me try to flip it over. You guys can kind of see it. I think I covered it in my one videos that I did or whatever. But that was all like cracked up. And then on this side as well, it was cracked up a little bit. But this side definitely had the worst. Trying hard to do this, hold the camera. But this side had it the worst. Here, you won't actually see any of this because there's a cap that goes over this. This was all cracked up. I don't know if I'm really going to be worrying about that too much. I'll probably knock that down a little bit more. But definitely over in this corner, up in here, it's like bugging the heck out of me, especially like right there. I didn't feather that. And what this really stems from is me rushing and not doing the best prep job that I should have did on that. Another thing that's been bugging me, is if you remember, I got two trunks, and this trunk here is going to be the trunk that actually had, this is the original trunk that came with the car, and it had, the holes here for your wing. But I decided, because when I received the car, it was wingless, and I really liked that look. For the longest of time, I liked it with like just the trunk and then your N1 lip that goes on these cars. But the more and more I looked at this car and studied it, I'm like either or, where I'm gonna have the wing, like the factory wing, which I just showed you guys, with the N1 spoiler, or I'm not gonna have anything. I like it to be a clean slate. And that's kind of what I'm going with on this one, just a clean slate. One thing why I decided to use this one as the clean slate is it had a bunch of holes in it, and like I said, it didn't have the N1 on it already. So anyways, here was a spot for the factory ones, but then sometime in its history, they had just drilled these nasty holes in it, and they did a GT style wing. And anybody that really knows me knows I hate GT style wings. I can't stand it. It's just me, my personal preference. But the reason that I'm taking this back down and I'm taking my time is when I originally did this here, well, how well it shows up on camera, so I'm kind of trying to have it at this angle. But anyways, this is a low spot. It's a really bad low spot, and I didn't pick it up until I actually painted it. And me rushing and not doing the proper prep, it looked terrible, because I'm going to show you the other spot that is still like that. So right now what I've done is knock this all back down without, that's one of the holes. Let's see what the focus was. You can see there, that's one of the holes that I filled. So I'm gonna go back over this spot, build it up with filler, and then knock it down and even it all out. And actually what this is I took this down with 180 so far. And actually here, this is still a high spot, so I gotta flatten that out still. But the rest of it's feathered in pretty good. It's still got some high spots, like right there. That's a high spot. That's a high spot. And so when you're doing prep, if you don't effectively knock these high spots out, what'll happen is this is going to show in the final product of your paint, and it's going to look crazy. So let me go to this side. You guys can kind of see the effects of what a high spot will do to you. Maybe I might have to get up on it from the top or come from this way. Let's see. So I want you guys to really get this on camera. Yeah, you can kind of see it a little bit, like right in here. Yeah, you can see that. See how wavy that is. But that is where they actually put the GT wing again. Let me see if I can get up on it. This damn thing is having problems focusing now. I don't know why. Yeah, you can kind of see one right there. But it had 3 holes on both sides. No way to support it, and it actually pulled the trunk up as well. Because these trunks on GTRs are like aluminum, very light, very thin metal as well. Yeah, there we go. Now it's freaking focusing. So you can see them, kind of remnants of them. But what I wanted you guys to see, I'm still gonna run my hand across it, but you can't see it on camera. These are like very bad hot spots, like right here where, like I said, the wing actually lifted the trunk. This is a low spot that's showing, so you can feel it. You can see it, but you wouldn't know if that's high, but that's definitely a low spot. And then here, I didn't do that great of a job of feathering. So all of this is bugging me, especially if this trunk is going to be like plain. That's what I'm doing right now. Like I said, I'm just doing a little tidy ups. Something else that I'll talk about in this video, and I'll get to it when you guys see it, is the fenders got a lot of nibs in it, and I didn't correct it when I was doing my paint. Again, I was rushing. I don't know why I was rushing last year or whatever. But now I'm just deciding to really like take my time, man, and go really slow with this project. Seeing the level that it's getting to and how nice it's starting to turn out and getting quality parts. I'm not going to show you guys some of the stuff that I did splurge on before I decided that was enough money spending. But anyways, back to what I was talking about with the fenders. I'm going to go ahead and knock those fenders all the way back down to bare aluminum. Again, GTRs, people, if they don't know, a real GTR R32, its fenders, its trunk, hood are aluminum. They did that to cut weight. So a true GTR is not steel fenders or bonnet or hood or trunk lid. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and redo them. And then another thing that I kind of want, let me see, it may not show because I'm in this garage and I don't really have the lights on because it's freaking hot out. Yeah, it's not gonna really show. It makes it look perfect, but it's not. What I had to do on that is I went straight from 320 grit primered and didn't even do that great of a sanding job on the high build primer. I'm not gonna lie, man. It's body work is a lot to learn, and I still don't know everything. So I made some very critical mistakes where the product isn't to the best of its ability, and I know it's not the best of my ability, just because, again, I was rushing and not taking my time and doing the proper research to get the quality finish that I was after. So long story short, that bumper for right now, and when I get the urge, I'm gonna go ahead and strip the front bumper back down. And the proper procedure, and I'll talk about it again when I do that video, but the proper procedure when you're doing these bumpers on these cars, like from the 90s to current, is you want to, yeah, take your material off with maybe 320, feather it, whatever you want to do. If you take it down to bare plastic, it's not a problem. But before you even apply adhesion, a promoter, or any type of primer to that 320, you actually need to build that back up, that plastic, to like a nice smooth finish. If not, it's going to show really, really bad. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to take that back down with 320 grit. Then I'm going to build it with 400. Then I'm going to hit it with 600, 800, 1000. Get it glass smooth if been 2000. Then hit it with adhesion promoter. Then I'm going to do my high build primer over top of that adhesion promoter to really hide the rest of the scratches that may be showing. Once you do that, you go ahead, sand it back down with like 600 or 800, the high build primer. Do 2 or 3 coats of that. Then it's ready for your base. So that's where we're going to go. One thing I will talk about right now, so you know and get a better understanding of this. This is a very light metallic blue, if you guys can't tell already. The car and everything. So you got to really be careful when you are prepping your paint Yeah, you can kind of see what I was talking about now, that high spots and how it looks. But yeah, oh yeah, you can really see it. But anyways, a light color like this, man, you don't want to just jump straight off with 320 and lay your base or your primer back down, especially your base. So what I'm gonna do, like I said, hit it with 320. Um, Put my right, especially right here, I gotta go with like your self etching primer first. Once where the bare metal is, like there as well. Let that set up. And you don't sand bare metal self etching direct to metal primer. You go back over that with 2 coats minimum of your high build primer. See if you got any more high spots, then you block it with either 320 or 400. However, with this, what I'm getting at with this light blue paint that I have for this car that I picked out, those scratches will show. You have a chance of that, or you actually have a chance of the metallic particles kind of sinking into those lower high spots, and then to give you the effect of almost tiger striping. So what I'm going to have to do after I get my primer and all laid down is go over it with a 400. I couldn't find any 600 strips, but I got 800 strip. So I'm going to hit it with an 800 strip primer, and that should be good enough. Clean it all up and then lay my base, and then I'll show you guys the finished results when it's time. So just guys, that quick update on what I'm doing. I know you guys don't want to see me sanding away, so I'm gonna stop right here, stop talking so this video doesn't go too long. Go ahead, knock this down, and then come back and I'll start showing you the other steps in a little bit. All right guys, back again just to show you a quick update right now what I got going on. So I finally sanded it, got it feathered, nice smooth finish the way I want it with the 180. Went to the spots that I knew that I needed to bring up, got them down to bare metal, and right now I got the putty. You can kind of see it now, like setting up. Of course, not gonna stay like that. I'm gonna hit it with 180 paper. Might even put my DA on it just to knock it down quicker. But anyways, yeah, so that's one of the spots there that needed to come up. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll sand it with 180, feel it, look at it, get an idea where it is. If I need to build it up some more, I will. Same thing here. You guys can see that. Yeah, but same deal. Right here, I was working a little too slow, and it started hardening it up on me. But that's fine. Like I said, I'll wind up knocking that down with the 180, and then just go from there. So right now, the game plan is let this finish setting up another 10-15 minutes, hit it with 180, and then hit this whole panel with 320. And then I'll put my bare metal primer around where it needs to go, let that dry, and then I'll come over it with my filler primer, build it up, and then knock it down with the steps. Like I said, 320, 400, then 800 grit, and that should be ready to go for a base coat when I'm ready. And then I'm gonna move on to the wing. I'll show you guys a little bit of the progress that I make on that thing, and then just keep going. I'll probably just do those 2 pieces for right now. I might even do the other trunk back there, sand that, get that ready for paint, and paint those 3 pieces, because there's some new techniques that I've learned in the last year that should help out tremendously. And I'm not gonna lie, I am kind of anxious to test those out, and it'd be great because I could knock those pieces out and then apply that to other pieces. So anyways, I'll be back soon. What might happen is I'll probably shoot this over the course of a week, just because I'm gonna really take my time, man. There's no need to rush. All right. Yo, what's good, everybody? Gonna go ahead and finish this one particular video up finally. I've been busy. I've been getting it in, and pretty much it's been a lot of sanding and prep work, and I know as nobody wants to watch a video full of sanding prep work that is not the fun stuff. It really, I despise it, but it's something that's got to get done or had to get done, and I still got a little bit more. But the good news is I got all the pieces mostly prepped and ready for the high build primer, and then I can finally lay the base in the clear. So I'm getting there. Hopefully in another 2 weeks, that process should be ready to go. Because pretty much with the high build primer, what happens to get that glass finish, you actually got to sand that back down. Um, so I'm gonna start when I do it. I'm gonna do like 320, 400, yada yada yada, all the way up to 800. Um, so, anyways, that's that process. But let me show you guys kind of the progress that has been made and how I'm gonna finish this video out so it's not boring. um, Pretty much here, I then got this bumper all the way down the way that I wanted it. And pretty much this process involved 180, 320, 400, 600, 800, 1,000. So it's like smooth, just a little dusty. Of course, I've been sanding. This here is one of the trunks, and this is the trunk that is going to take um, the wing, the factory wing. So that this is, I actually fixed this one, leveled it out, and got it pretty straight. And it's priming on the other side now, as you can see. Maybe, maybe not, but yeah, that's primer. Um, the mirrors assemblies, the one that was messed up, has been sanded. Same process as I did with the bumper. All the way up to 1,000 grit. This here, I don't know if it's going to show. I don't know what the hell happened with the primer. So I got to sand that back with 320. Come on, focus. I got to sand that back with 320. And then reshoot it. But these are the stands for the wing. I wish I should have showed you guys how they looked before. But pretty much I smoothed them all out. These are fiberglass for the people that don't know. That's got a GTR and is just wondering the material. So yeah, that's all done. Update as far as you can see, this is the bomber style mirror. I forgot the brand off the top of my head, but kind of like a Doluk mirror, but it's not. I forgot the brand. But anyways, that's the one mirror I'm going to run with the June lip. And then when I go with like the factory wing, I want it to look OE plus. So actually, when I picked up the factory side skirts, picked up factory mirrors. These are all primed. They're ready to go. This is the other piece. They come apart. Another thing I'll show you on this is one of the fenders taken all the way back down to bare metal and then primered. And that actually is just 180. I didn't make that smooth like I did with the plastic. This is the primer that I'm using for my bare metal. Just the Rust-Oleum Professional Series Grade Primer. I do have high build primer matrix. I'll show you guys that when I do that in the next video. Start shooting that. Here's the other fender, pretty much here. And what I wound up doing, because I thought about it, and I wish I would have caught it before I did it, spent $50 almost in stupid hardware for the fenders, for these little plastic nuts that go in here. I just I made the squares like a circle like this. Just put M6 riv nut in there. And so if you guys want to do that on your Skyline, you can do that and get away from the factory plastic nuts if you want, as you can see. So that's all set. So now that's going to be a lot easier. And you guys going to see what the hardware that I'm going to run. But anyways, like I said, this is the fenders. It's been primed. The wing's been done as well. Smoothed it all down. It's ready to go. This has been smoothed all the way with 800. It's just got to get clean. It's dusty. I made up this. Last time I did this, I couldn't figure out what I was going to do for um, the freaking how to paint that. I was gonna paint it in 2 steps, but thanks to my buddy Rob, last year they gave me an idea for hanging the fenders. I came up with an idea, just made these L brackets out of aluminum stock, and that's just the M6 that's holding the wing on. Repaired this as much as I could. It still seems like a crack, but it's not. It's because I use clear resin hardener or whatever to fill that epoxy. So that's all good. That's ready to go. So that'd be ready for paint. So that'd be OE plus look. The one thing I haven't touched is the hood. I'll probably wait till next year when I do the body or the car over. That's another video down the road. I'll talk to you guys about that. Main thing I want to show you guys today, oh yeah, I'll show you the other piece, is how to take apart, disassemble the Nissan mirror, like the factory mirrors. And this one has got like some damage on it, as you can see right there, right there. So got something that I'm gonna use to fix that. If you guys know, I'll put a description. Some people know what it is, some people don't. Plastic weld. JB Weld makes this like Foreman putty, wood weld, water weld, plastic weld, and stuff called steel stick. Each one of them has a different property. They be used with different types of materials. One last thing to show you. This is the wing that came, lip that came with the car. I don't know if it's like some rare Gretty lip, because the body kit that was on the car is Gretty Gracer kit. But I can't find any information on this lip. But what I'm going to do, I actually wound up started fixing it with the water weld, as you guys can see, and I got it feathered in, like perfect repair. Down here's got to get some more sanding, and there's a crack. So that's got to get all fixed still. And then once I get it smooth and shaped the way I want, then I'll go over it with the Bondo, really smooth that out. But what I'm going to do with this lip, because it's not as aggressive as the June, it'll be another video, but aggressive as the June lip. So I'm going to wind up painting that like a flat black, like satin black. And when I go like the OE plus look, I'll put that lip on with everything else, so it'll look like OE, but it definitely won't be. I'll show you a box, a part that showed up, so you guys can kind of get the idea. Around, you see that name, PRP, in this box here. That's all I'm going to show you. So, more goodies for it. It's another video down the road. Right now I'm saving up to get some more parts, some more, and of course some more stuff over the winter. Long story, I'm just gonna go ahead and start breaking apart this, so you guys can see the process on that. And then this video will be done, and we'll pick up another time. So let me set up on my tripod, and I'll be back. All right, guys. So I'm back. Let me move this up a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and start taking apart this mirror. The first thing you'll see on this, what I like to attack is try to get the glass out of there so I don't break anything in the process. So on these cars, there's a Phillips screw right there. So you just want to take your Phillips screwdriver. What I'm actually going to wind up doing, guys, is when I'm putting this back together, I'm going with I don't think I could probably put an M6 bolt down in there. That's not M6. Pick M4, but what I'll wind up doing is going for stainless steel screws, so you won't run into that issue of it rusting. The other thing I gotta do for this car is get the actual mirror glass assemblies as well. So you kind of get that off as much as you can, and what that does, it'll loosen, as you can see, it loosens this guy up. So now it's disengaged, right? Inside of this, it's kind of real dirty, but inside of there's a connector. So you want to disconnect that connector, and that's kind of going to free this assembly from the actual part that moves and adjusts and stuff like that. I might have to get some needle nose pliers because this connector is a little tough. Let's see if I can stick this in a little bit. So once, as you can see, you release that connector off that's the locking tab, and it's got like a weather tight part. Go ahead and pop that off. And now what you'll have exposed is all your screws to start, taking apart this piece by piece. So you have your mirror back, which is this part, and then you have what they would call the ring. Now it's kind of good that you can see it. This ring has been damaged. Right there has been damaged, and then right here. So that's what I gotta, fix. It looks like I'll be able to do that. It won't be too much of a headache. The other thing, like I was saying, I gotta get new mirrors anyways. You can see the seal on this is completely damaged and gone. But the shame is the actual glass itself is fine. But of course, Nissan, they don't sell it where you can get the seal. That'd be perfect. Because like I said, the glass itself is fine. Now, to release this glass, you gotta be very careful. But all the way around it, if you guys can see that, hopefully the camera's picking this up. There's these locking tabs that you gotta kind of pry up in 6 places. There's another one. So just take your time and go around it. Because of course you don't want to damage the glass, but the main thing that you don't want to damage is going to be this drive mechanism assembly or whatever. So just like I said, take your time, be patient, and just work your way around it, get what you want, and then as you can see, that separates. So you got the glass off of there now, and then the one part, like I said, that you definitely don't want to damage is the drive itself. And then now you can kind of see these are the things that go into the tabs on the mirror, and I'll show you. You can see the mirror. It's got those, so it sits in there, so it locks in. So got that stuff separated. If you're clumsy like me, I suggest that you move the stuff out of your way. So that's what I'm gonna do real quick, so I don't damage that. And then, like I said, then you just go around it, and then you just start taking off all the Phillips screws to release the backing from the ring. And I actually, guys, I love 90s Japanese cars or 90s cars in general, just because the OEs use stuff like this. They took the time, had these things machined in plastic, and they used screws, as you can see. What am I getting at? Somewhere around the 2000s, everything freaking changed. Everything just started snapping together. Made things a lot cheaper to manufacture for the car guy, the companies. But us mechanics and technicians and bodymen and whatever else you are, DIYers, it just made things a nightmare because stuff that snaps apart, you got to be careful, especially in the cold with plastic. Again, one of those things that materials that likes to contract with temperatures. You run a risk of breaking stuff, and I suspect maybe that's what happened with this. Somebody tried to take this apart and couldn't figure it out. They wound up damaging the damn thing. So once you get that separated, normally it should come off of there. It shouldn't be something else holding it on. Alright, well, instead of trying to jam it, I guess I could go look at the other one that I got apart, but instead of trying to jam this thing off of there, I believe another screw may be hiding behind this cover that's on the bottom of the mirror. So just take a flat blade. That's all you gotta do. Be careful though. I don't want to break it. Just pop that cover off, as you guys can see. And there's more screws in there that's gotta come off anyways. I just wasn't sure that that's what was holding us up. But let's just see. So you go ahead and take these Phillips screwdrivers out as well. As you can see, you get those three big gold Phillips screws off. Now the base is kind of separated from the mount. Let's see if I can figure out what the heck is holding this in. It's got to be a screw hidden somewhere. And there it is. Just be careful. As you guys can see, don't get frustrated. You got to be patient, especially with older cars and plastic and these delicate materials. You got to really take your time. It was kind of hidden because it's black and the housing is black. So now, as you can see, hopefully you guys can see all the holes. That is the screw holes that you got. And again, one last time, this is the damage that's on there. But it looks like I'm going to be good with fixing this. Okay. I might have to at least try to reset that. Right. So just what I'm going to do so I don't cause more damage, I'm going to go ahead and set this out the way. But pretty much now, as you can see, this is what you have. You have to get, you got to get this guy separated. So once you get that ring off of there, there's one last screw that holds your cap on to your base of your mirror. It's right down in that corner. So you go ahead and do that. As you can see, the cap is now going to come off of your mounting base. Just got to be careful. Just got to be patient. Work it around. Now that is separated. And another thing you can kind of see in here, this has got clear coat damage. So that's going to get sanded down anyways with 180 and taken all the way back up with 320, 400 and stuff. So I'll set this out the way. So that's all done. The last thing that you are now you're stuck with is the actual base, and then this part, the mount that goes to the door of the car. So there's a couple of options that you could do when you get down to this point. But for me, I got some work that I have to do on the electrical side of this car. Because those Deluxe style mirrors that they put on some years ago, they use Scotch lock adapters. I'll show you guys this all down the road, but I'm just telling you now. Use Scotch lock adapters and screw the wiring up. So I got to rewire the doors. And since I'm going to do that, what I'm going to wind up doing is making the connectors on this and those Deluxe mirrors the same. Again, I'll show you this stuff down the road when I'm actually doing it. Just telling you now. But I'm gonna have it where it's just plug and play, and it's all solid wires. Nothing's been tapped into. So for me, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off because I'm putting different style. I'm putting the Stooch connectors and stuff on. It's, like I said, down the road. And then what that'll allow me to do is just pull these wires through, and then this is gonna separate from this piece here. Then of course you got your foam and your rubber. You just peel. You gotta take your time not to destroy it because it's been glued in. Just peel that off out of your way, and then everything is exposed, and then you'll have this mount separated. So that's pretty much it, guys, for this video. Hope you guys enjoy it. Again, just to let you guys know, it's been about 2 months of prep and sanding just to get these pieces to the way, you know, where they need to be and how I wanted it to be. So yep, that's pretty much it. I should do another, or just continue this video of me repairing that one mirror ring, but I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to bore you guys. I'll show you guys the finished product, but this right here is plastic weld. I'll put a link down below on the video of where you can buy this stuff, and I'm gonna use this putty to shape around it and fill into those cracks. It's better than liquid because you don't have to worry about it setting up and curing and dripping or shifting on you with this putty. It's pretty much within 5 minutes it starts setting up, and it's already going to hold this form is what I'm getting at. So this stuff is pretty good, and it's sandable, paintable, everything. So Um, Hope you guys are enjoying the content. I know this, like I said, this is the boring phases, but hey, I just want to get this thing right this time. I don't just want to slam it together. Take my time so I can truly just enjoy the car and not have to be going back and forth with shortcuts, correcting shortcuts and stuff like that that I've made, or not truly being happy, me being happy with the finished product. But anyways, guys, stay blessed. I love y'all. Till the next time, peace.